Check 1, 2, mic check. Mic check, baby. It is the holiday. Right on. Save that. Some weird stuff. What is going on? What the fuck? What is going on? I don't know what is going on. All right, wait, I gotta. YouTube's all jiggy. Hey, what's going on out there? How's everybody doing? I see you guys out there in the chat right now. Morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Let's just cut right to the chase here. Need a couple things I gotta do here. I got some work in the background before you go. Hold on a second here. What's going on out there? How are y'all doing out there? Happy Thanksgiving. Or happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Indigenous People Day, I think they have that, but whatever it is you celebrate, if you're from Europe or somewhere else, you may not celebrate Thanksgiving, but in the States we do. So we're going to get right into it here. Good morning. Hope you're all doing well. We'll take a look at yesterday's close and that kind of stuff, how it impacted today, that kind of stuff. So we'll take a look at what's to expect. I want you all to let me put this up on a couple things here. This is this 45.50 we've been talking about, this level, right? We came up here and tagged this. Nobody's business. Came back down, bounced on what could be considered support. Now there's a little bit of a gap down here that could be closed up, and still hold that support to come back up here and keep tagging this 45.75. But this 45.50 down here is now technically support unless we begin to reject underneath it. And that would mean, if you look at this right here, right? So let's say you see this one right here. You'd be looking for the rejection, right? So this is a good teaching, very simple thing for you to learn. Get your papers and pens out at home, whatever it is you have at home. Take this note down. It's an important thing for you to learn. So if you don't already know it. So I always find it hard to describe this on FinTwit, and this is a better medium to describe this, but what you're looking for here is when we come into some support, okay? We're going to talk about support. If you're a seller, okay? Not resistance, but support. So let's say you're selling this over here, right? You take the money and run down here, okay? You should be taking the money like here because we could bounce directly off, right? So you just take that money off here, right? Now let's say you're like, well, fuck you, Cap. I want to be, bloodbathing it down here and stuff like that. The one thing that I want you to address here is, even if you come down here, let's say we swooped down and took this out. It's not really the trade. The trade was right here, right? This is the trade. Had we bounced right here, they'd start taking your money away from you, right? So this is the actual trade right here. That's the trade. Now, if you want to extend that trade, normally what'll happen is if we're going to continue to go down, we'll blast through. And can I just erase this? Yeah, there we go. We'll blast through, right? And you'll see the rejection. You'll see this rejection. You're still not putting on a second short. You're actually looking to break below. So 1, 2, right? And then you break below this previous low. Now you put your finger on SQQ over here or some SDAO or, I don't know, shorting SPY or SPOOs, whatever. You set it up right where let's say you're selling. not puts or anything. Let's say you want to enter puts, that would work too. But let's say you wanted to enter for this next leg. You wait until you get the single or double tap, and the key point here is that you break below these two previous lows here, and then you can jump right on board and continue down. Okay, so you have to be like tactful in what you're going to do. Another thing to be aware of, specifically where we are right now, is where's that hourly trigger in here? Now it's not showing up right here, but we know where it is. So the hourly trigger on SPX right now is 4524. So hold on here, I'm just going to get this right. Hang tight here. Right there. So that's like the red line right here, okay? So I want you to keep your eye on this. So the idea here is that, so you come back down here, right? We start to reject, and you see that rejection, boom, right there, right? You take the short, you know you've got the gap to close, right? And you're then looking for this move down below here, and you're still on trend to the upside. I want to make a key point here is that even if you go down here, you're still on an uptrend. If you want to get actually bearish, like we're selling this move, you need to then be underneath this one right here. So currently, where that sits is at 45.24. So if you want to get bearish, right? I spelled that wrong. It's underneath this level right here. Okay, so bulls are still in control, even all the way down here. So be aware of that. Okay, and keep these numbers. Write these down. Whatever you need to do for right now, and I'll show you how these things correspond. Now, saying that, currently we're forming support right here, right on this gamma node right here, right on this 45.50, and if we start to form that base down here, right, this is the inverse of a bearish. This is right now, this right here is an inverse right now of this down here, right, to blast down. So we're kind of consolidating to make another move higher. And you can't get bullish for 4,600 now, which is right up here, right, this white box, until you get above this previous high right here, right? And then you can take that trade with a lot of confidence. That's that same trade under here. A lot of confidence in here, right? A lot of confidence up in here. Now, you can day trade this stuff. You can come down here, trade this until you get a break either underneath or a break above and take that trade up there. But this is consolidation or distribution going on right now. So right now, this looks like consolidation for a move higher. It doesn't look like consolidation for distribution at this point. It just looks like consolidation for another leg higher, or at least another attempt to fail to get the high. Right? This would be just like upside down, right, with these two right here. Right, you come up here. If you inverse that, you come up here, and if you fail to get that new high right here, that's pretty fucking bearish, right? And you're gonna actually expect us to sell off that if you fail to get that new high. So if you're a bull right now, what you're looking for is a bull for continuation. Hold on a second here.
Confirmation from OPEC Plus members here is Russia and Saudi Arabia say they are in agreement to delay the
I
meeting.
gotta turn this shit off. So if you're a bull, you can day trade this stuff here, but you're really looking for a new high. You see that new high from this previous high right here, and then you're going to be looking to tag this next node above to that 4,600 up here. Okay. Now, does that happen all today? Probably not, but we'll talk about it, and we'll take a look at what to expect. So this is SPY, and we'll look at yesterday and today. And we talked yesterday about if we're above this node right here, we start getting bullish, right? And we got up there, didn't we? I bought some calls yesterday. We came up here, and I didn't expect us to get above this on the open. I expected us to squeeze up here and maybe come back down, consolidate, then maybe make a move up higher. Now, what do? We came up here before the bell, and we got that buy in the morning, and we went straight up here, tagged that R3, and now we're down here consolidating to decide what we're going to do next. So as of today, this red box, by the way, is that we're just closed tomorrow. I also want to bring to your attention that we have a half a day on Friday. So I'm going to write that in up here. We have a half day on Friday. So if you're not aware of that, I want you to become aware of it. If you didn't know that, some of you probably know that we're open on Friday, but you might not know that it's only a half day. So we're going to write half day over here. And what's the expectation from here? This is that gamma node, this yellow box over here. Let me get rid of that. This yellow box on SPY, this is that gamma node. This is that 4550. And this is that 4575 up here. So what you're going to do here is you're going to buy these dips, which they did, right? Buyers stepped in and bought. They bought again, right? And every time we're down here, you're going to buy these dips to trade and attack this node up here. So this is that ping pong trade sideways move. And we begin to get bullish for 4,600 above the 4,600 SPX to start trading above this here. And what are we looking for up here is that, what is it, 47. Hold on a second here. Give me one quick second. What we're looking for on this, on SPY, after that R3, after the R3 for STX sell is going to be the previous high or near the previous high from this past summer. And that was at, what was that at? 45,793. So we'll put a target up here. Right up here. That's the target. Okay, that's STX up here. So let me see if I can go back over here. It's a 1 minute chart. And this is where your next node is to the upside, right up in here. We've got a large node up here. So you're just buying this dip down here, buying this dip down here. You already know that there's going to be some resistance in here, so I'm going to draw that in for you next. I'm going to draw this one right here. This one's going to be, we're going to make this one yellow down here. And hold on a second here. We'll just get rid of this right now. So this is the top of the market right now. Until we get people buying more calls, expanding the call, like loading up on calls, right? This is the top right here. And we already know that there's not a lot of trading going on, right? So to expect a new call wall to come out today, Friday, highly unlikely. Now, next week, week after, we can get another call wall. Right now, this is it. This is basically it. It's not it. There's other walls above it, but this is the main one up here. So the expectation into Friday, the top should be up here. As long as this holds right here, that should be the direction that we go, okay? Now, do I think that we're going up there? You know, we came up here already. We got up here. We got pretty high right here, right? So I'm not too keen on it. I'll day trade this, and this has actually moved up a little bit. So this is right up here. That's that 4,500 node. So the idea here would be that you were attacking this up here, and if we begin to break underneath this over here, then we're going to start heading down, close that gap on SPX, go down there, maybe even tag that lower node, and maybe even start to sell this market. So if you're a bear and you want to start selling the market, you need to get underneath this over here, and and this will bring up this is also the hourly trigger right now. So I'm going to quickly go back over there and show you that hourly. That's SPX. I'm going to bring up SPY for you really quick and show you where that is, and you can see it on Bookmap right here too. It's not too hard to see on Bookmap. And I want to show you where that hourly trigger is. It's at 453.52. So here, we'll actually bring this down a little bit. Give me a second here. Right there. It's right here, okay? So you watch this bottom of your screen over here. This is where support is. And if we start to break down in here and reject, we're going to expect that downside move. Close that SPX gap stuff. and maybe even reverse trend to go to the downside here. So if you're a bear, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that break of this green bar right here. Now, what are my expectations into Friday would be the question, right? And my expectation into Friday is we're up from here. And I talked to you about this yesterday. I said to you, expect this move into Friday. That slams up into that 460. I didn't know how long it would take. I didn't know if it would take 1, 2, 3 days to get there, but I do expect us to trade that 460 into Friday close maybe. Now, there's a caveat to this. If we do it now, right, or maybe we already did it. It's even possible we already did. Let's say this was the top right here, okay, for the week. It's possible. But regardless, what I do want to, what's most important about this is that let's say we do this move into Friday. No big deal. That's good. Check mark, right? But if we stay kind of like this, my expectation is that we come into Friday, we're not going to do anything else. It's going to be like flat in here. We'll grind this out, and then we'll see a nice fat drop off into next week. So if you're a bear right now, if you're a bear, this morning I have some close people that I trust, bears that I trust. And what's going on here? What the fuck is going on down here? I don't know what is going on down here. Now traders that I trust, this is kind of a funny thing too. So traders that I trust on here are already short right now. And you know, if you can be short here, you can be in put spreads here, you can be in whatever you want, put back spreads, you name it. What I hate is I guess spreads might help you into next week, but they could help just by the theta burn over the next few days. The point that I'm trying to make to you is I feel like I can't short this market until two rules for me. We get underneath the hourly trigger. And the second rule, or not a rule, but what's in my brain is that we're likely going to go sideways into Friday close, and you know you're like you have to put like your short on Friday at 359 or something stupid, 415 or something on Friday. Like if we get pinned into Friday, it's not really going down. If you're in puts for next week, you're gonna get torched. Put spreads, you'll be all right. There's some people out there that are like, I can take that move up to 4,600 and then catch the roll. But I want you to be aware that, like, between now and Friday, that you should expect or start looking for a place that you can handle. You can handle an upside move to 4,600, which I believe is slightly higher on SPY, but that you can handle that move higher. And then the move down and into next week. I expect next week that we have a pullback. Historically, I want you to I'll give you a caveat here too. Historically, the week after Thanksgiving, we start to sell the market for about a week to 2 weeks. So be aware of that. Now, where that is, I don't know. Like that's my point here is, you know, we could spend the next 2-3 days fucking around up here, and then we don't get the roll until after the weekend. So if you were to do a spread today, let's say you're going to do a spread, yeah, you could take out all that time, or if you did like a credit spread or something, or a debit spread of some kind, you could capture all that time decay over the week. We got today, Thursday, Friday, and then you got Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. So you got like 5 days to torch a bunch of time decay and gather all that money. So I expect next week that we begin to sell. Now, remember what I said. We also need to be underneath that hourly trigger. So let's say we come into Monday and we keep going up and grinding and we're above the hourly trigger. Don't come back to me and be like, hey, Captain, you said we're going to start selling on Monday. It involves these other things. You want to see us get underneath that hourly trigger. And that's like the confirmation that we're going to start heading lower and close out all those gaps down below that island reversal. And there's something else here too that I want to talk to you about, and that is, let me see if I can go to SPX again. And that is, we're trading 1 minute and 5 minute charts around these parts, right? But If you look on SPX on a 4-hour chart, what are we looking at here, right? We're looking at a cup and handle, potential cup and handle. So we got the cup right over here, and you got what normally happens after this is what? You get the handle over here, right? And we go higher. So if you're a bear, that 460 you tee off it, or 4,600 you tee off it, and then I would limit my expectations for a downside move, and that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. If you're buying a put spread here and you only get a couple points down here, it's gonna put a hurting on you, right? So let's look at that really quick and see what we're talking about here. You see where this gamma flip is, right? Down below over here. We wrote that one in earlier. So would you rather take, if you're going to take this one here, you're going to take that put spread, I would only be looking for that put spread to come down to this this first gap down here. Do I think you get all the way down here? It's possible. I would be day trading this stuff down here to clean all this stuff up. If you think that's what it's going to be, if you think that it's going to be somewhere we come all the way down here, I don't think that's the case. I think that we only come down here, just down here, maybe clean this stuff up, and then we're off and running. You got to remember too that we can leave behind these gaps, and if it's the end of the year, I want to let you know that we're in the end of the year, end of the quarter, that we can end up leaving this shit behind and come back to deal with this shit after the new year. So this stuff gets left behind. We come back in the new year and take it out. So if you're a bear, try to be tactful. If you're a seller, try to have stops, right, and try to think about like how deep we're going. Take the money and run. If we get underneath and start to reject here and start heading lower, you can jump back in again for that second trade. Remember that hourly trigger is going to be huge for you as a seller, for commitment to the downside. And even so, with that I would limit your expectations, because if that shit gets bought up and it ends up turning into a cup and handle, you're going to get in trouble, right? So just be aware as a bear where you need to be, where you need to get under, and all that kind of stuff, and targets and things like that for downside moves. And I do think that we go down next week. I think that we're going to go back down and then come back up for that 4,600. I don't think we might tag 4,600. I think this might be like it for Friday. And even if we do tag 4,600, we're going to sell the fuck out of that. So one way or another, we're gonna sell that one way or another. Now that cup and handle that's setting up for an end of quarter. Believe it or not, 4,800. I know that's shocking to you. So let's say we get this pullback. So look in your bottom screen down here, right? You get, hold on a second here. Let's see, bring this up here. This is the 46, that PT right there, right? And we're so close, it's pretty fucking close, right? But my expectation here is that we're going to sell down, and then we're going to ramp up into December and possibly take out that 4,800. So just be aware of that. It's down below here. Just be aware of this move into the end of the year up here. If you're going to trade this move up into that 4,800, if you really get your eyes set on that, there are some huge nodes of calls at 4,800 on SPX. There's shit tons of them. And not SPX, on SPY. SPX has one standing order for an 800 lot sell at 4,800, but SPY specifically has a shit ton of calls at 4,800, expiring in the last expiry of December. So just be aware of that. And they might not hit it on the 31st or 29th, I believe, this year is the last day for them. I think it's the last day of the market. It could be the week after or the 2 weeks after. So depending on how you're structuring your stuff, if you're just wanting straight calls, you might need to put a month or two on them. If you're going to get some call spreads or something, you probably need to put an extra at least 2 weeks on those call spreads, just to CYA cover your ass in case it takes a week or two. Because what they'll try to do is kill all those calls. I want you to know that they're going to try to even if they hit those calls, all that big node up there, that big 4,800 node on SPY at least, you're likely going to see those calls get decimated. So you want to be a little bit farther out, so you don't get those calls get wrecked. You're not getting that theta kill, that theta burn, all that kind of stuff into the end of the year. So just be aware of it as you're planning out your your trades here. So all in all, mission is accomplished at this point. Even if we go to 4,600, mission is accomplished. And you're looking for that pullback so that we can attempt to take out that 4,800 for end of year on SPY or SPX, I should say. Hold on a second here. Yeah, okay. So I can bring this in a little bit here. Is everybody clear in that? Now, there's some talk out there. I saw people on FinTwit yesterday loaded up on VIX calls, and they got fucking annihilated this morning. I used to trade VIX, and I assure you, whoever was buying those VIX calls, those things are fucking dead. VIX is, you want to be an exacting trader, man, you trade VIX. VIX is, when people say VIX is broken, it's because it's not an easy thing to trade. So, I was looking at the VIX. There's some contango with VIX right now, and we can easily. I pointed you towards March, I believe, of this year, and I showed you how VIX can grind sideways, up or down slightly, and the market can just grind up and to the right, and we don't get like 30 points on VIX. So you might be tempted to buy VIX calls for the VIX hit low this morning. Not the low, but hit a low this morning. Let me take a look at it where we're tagged. Yeah, it was almost a pin strike. I was looking for $12.85. It was slightly higher than that. And the next level down for VIX is $12.73. So if we go to like 12.73 on VIX, while taking out 460, that's on the table. VIX is showing that right now that we can easily do that. So VIX isn't, to me, anyone that's out there saying, I see people on FinTwit saying you can buy the VIX here. I guess so. But like I think we can easily take VIX down to, I think I said 12.73. Let me check. Yeah, 12.73 is easy. There's room here, is my point on the VIX. For the VIX to continue to go down for the rest of this week. So I don't know. It depends on how you're gonna plan this this rollover that we expect to happen here into next week. That is the sound the dragon makes. Do I think the same for Qs and IWM? So there's a rotation going on. It's a good question. There's a rotation going on right now that's kind of discombobulated. Like I was looking at today or this morning, I was looking at John Deere, right? And there's a rotation out of us. Like look, this John Deere is a great fucking example. There's a rotation going on in and out of. Let's look at a couple of these stocks from. Like if you, all right, we don't have to look at them on your own. Look at a company like John Deere on a daily chart over the course of a year. That shit's never come back down from COVID, okay? Now, they're cycling out of John Deere, okay? Even if it gets bullish for the next week or two, they're cycling out of it. But then you look at a company, let's say like Tyson Foods, or you look at a company like Budweiser, right? And they're cycling into those tickers right now. So there's a rotation, but it's not a full. It's weird. CNBC this week said. Expect don't be looking at individual tickers, and I'm like, we're doing that in fucking Dow Jones right now. They're literally still rotating out a bunch of COVID stocks in Dow Jones and rotating into some stocks into the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and I think that might be the same for IWM. And specifically, I think you do see a rotation out of tech and S&P 500 into next week. You may find individual tickers in the next week in Dow Jones Industrial Average and in IWM that are fine. Whatever that pullback is, though, you should see it play out still in the wider market in IWM and the Qs. You should see that same pullback. If you overlay a chart of IWM, small caps, and SPY, you'll see divergence for like half a day, maybe a day, but it generally follows the same track as S&P 500. NASDAQ has outperforms oftentimes, but it still generally follows the same. Even though you have outsized down moves and up moves in NASDAQ, but you still have the general. It still follows the S&P 500. Remember, S&P 500 is built with tech in it. So it's more breadth out of the market, and of course DIA has all the blue chip breadth too. But so yeah, do I think there's a pullback coming for all of it? Fuck yeah, I do. Absolutely. Oh, I do if we get underneath that hourly trigger. And historically we have a pullback as well. And the call wall is at 4,600. I mean, if I start to list this stuff off to you, think about this. If you're a bull, right? Start to think about this, right? You got the VIX. The VIX is almost at its yearly low right here, right? You got the call wall is at 4,600. We just traded 45.70, I believe, 45.75 maybe. And I don't know what else to say to you. You start stacking all this stuff up, and it starts to look like, yeah, we're gonna roll at some point. So if you're a bull here, and you're looking for that trade, like I'm gonna roll with 25 grand, 50 grand, or something, 100 grand. Just cool off for a little bit. Cool off for the next couple weeks, 2-3 weeks. Go sit on your hands, do something else, and you should see a nice fucking dip buy. With in the short term, sometime late next week, you should see a great place to buy, a nice low to buy for that run for December. So if you're looking for that run for end of December and you're a bull, you can day trade this up if you want. You can day trade ping ponging around to 4,600 if you want. If you're looking for that big trade, it's likely next week. If you're a seller, I'm not going to give you advice on what to do, but for me personally, I want to sell this, and I'm waiting for Friday. I'm hoping that Friday's flat, and or we squeeze up into Friday, one or the other, and we take out a short or a put into or spread into dated for about 2 weeks out for the market to pull back for that cup and handle to show itself. You guys can do it now. You can do it whenever you like. I know some of you this morning. And that brings up another point. So it was kind of funny. I was on FinTwit this morning, and someone said, thanks for the shout out. I went short on that upper bar up there this morning. And sometimes I get asked, why don't you trade both sides? And I thought about it this morning because I was closing a bunch of calls out this morning. And I was like, I don't have the fucking time here to be fucking buying puts here. Like, as we pinged, closed my calls, and it's almost like it's tiring. I was like, you know what? This fucking trade is done. I got in this trade yesterday, then I started DCAing into the bell, and now today I'm like fucking panicking because I got a shit ton of money in the line, and I'm panicking into the open this morning. That I'm like, I'm not closing these calls because they're for Friday. For 0 dates, I close them on the opening bell, but these are Friday calls, and so I'm holding them in the open. We squeeze all the way the fuck up on the bell, and by that point, I'm tired. I'm like, I feel like I just got done working or something. So I didn't want to take puts or even a put spread. It was more. It's not more like I don't want to. Probably should have bought some put spreads for a couple weeks out on that ping up there, even if we went up to 4,600. But I was just tired. It's like you're doing all this work, and you finally get paid, and you go, fuck it. I'm just gonna fucking chill for a minute and let this shit calm down before I take the next trade. Good job, Uncle JBJ. So if any of you guys did that, if any of you guys took like a spread up there at that top tick, like right up here, if you took a put spread up here, you're probably safe. Even if we go to 4,600, you're likely going to be safe and make some serious money in the next couple of weeks in that trade. So if you did that, congratulations to you. You likely if you took a put spread right up here, you're likely, but you're fucking styling. I mean, I don't know how else to say it to you. Basically, you could come back and double top and take it. You could go up just a little bit more and bounce up there and look for that roll back down into next week. No matter if you took that put spread up there or whatever you structured it, congratulations to you. You're setting yourself up real nice up there. So I didn't this morning. I was like, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm green for the week. I'm happy. And I'm a little pissy because I got to check back on Friday to short this shit. And I wanted to be done. That was your chance. This was your chance up here this morning to be done for the week right there. In my view, if you structured your trade appropriately, hopefully you can get back up there so we can take that trade again. Now, the next question becomes, am I bullish here? We're going to look on the 30-minute chart here. Look at that fucking strike. hold on a second here. It's cooling off a little bit. You know, we're at the zero line on hourly velocity. We're not quite topped out on daily velocity, so I'm passively bullish here. But we're close to a top. So either that 4570 or that 4575 or that 4600. You should start to see a topping action in the daily velocity, and should see whatever that next ramp is probably going to be done at some point in here, and you'll see us start to top out. So that's a nice half-hour bar right there. Look at, they bought that bar down there, and they just keep buying every half hour in here. They're buying. So they bought this whole previous half hour, and they're buying this next half hour right now. Bullish, baby, bullish. Let's bring that back over there and see if we can take those two out. Take out this previous high and that previous high over there. Okay, so it's Thanksgiving. I want to say that if you're watching the stream right now, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks for showing up to the stream. Thanks for sticking around for the entire year with me. Thanks for sticking around for 3 years with me. If any of you guys have been here since day one, I want to say thank you to you. I'm very grateful that you're here. Without you people here, I wouldn't have a fucking show. So thank you very much. I want to get that out right away so I don't forget. Let me go through some of your comments here and see what you guys are saying here. Hold on a second here. Close that up. We got a couple things to do here. Hold on here. Let me show you guys. Want to see? You guys want to? Let me show you the. Let me show you guys the nodes. So this is SPX net gamma. I'm going to show you guys the gamma for SPX and the VIX. And I believe the VIX and tech. So if you're a tech bull, so this is the 4550 right here. Do you see this one right here? As long as we hold this one, right? We come up here and we tag that 4575, right? So this is what we did today. Is we just went bam. Hold on here. Let's do it with a white so you guys can see it. So we went from this node right here to this node right here, right? And now we're back down here, just bouncing around, right? And if you're a bull, what do you want to do? You want to clean all this stuff out, right, for end of the month, right, into Friday. You're looking to see us get up here and pin this shit up here, right, and take out this node up here. So that's the ultimate target, and then to have a nice pullback over here, unless we start to buy more calls. If they start buying more calls, right, next week or so, then we can actually see us. That's 4,900 right there. 4,900. Woo. 4,900. But we need to see this. We need to see these call nodes push up a little bit. So that's SPX. Now I'm going to show you NDX. And I don't know why it's not showing right now. Hold on a second here. It's not showing up for me right now. There's SPX. How about NDX? Net gamma. Here's your gamma bars over here, right? You got another one right here at 14,900. You got this one right here at 1,600, right? This is your next node. Your next largest node over here is at 16,100. Your next node over here is 16,150, and then 16,200. Not a lot of will right now, as you can see. Not a ton of will from the bulls on big tech right now. There's some will, but not huge. So these are your two nodes up here. You want to be holding. You want to be holding the 1,600 key level for bulls. Hold 1,600 on. Let me go to VIX and go to the gamma on VIX. We got a node here. Where were we at? We're trading 12 right here. My God, we can go all the way down to 11. You guys can't see this. We got a node over here at $11.50. Be aware of that. $11.50 down here. Here's that $12. So VIX can go all the way down to $11.50. Mark that on your chart. We got $11.50, $12, $12.25, but that's a big one down here. $11.50 is a big one. Your next largest node is at 14. So if we get a roll into next week, you might get 14. So be aware of that one. And then up here, you got a big one up here at 20. So mark in your charts 20, 14, and 12. Oh, excuse me, $11.50. $11.50. $14 and then $20 on the VIX. Let me see here. Main screen. Happy Thanksgiving to you out there if you're just joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to you. What else do we have here? We got the 4-week auction today. Next week for economic calendar. Or I should tell you again, if you're just joining us, we have a half day on Friday. We have PMI at 9:45 on Friday as well. And then Monday we have nothing. We've got new home sales scheduled on Monday at 10. On Tuesday we've got the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index, consumer confidence at 10. We've got Chris Waller speaking at 10, and then Fed President Goolsbee speaking as well at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Wednesday, we've got GDP, first revision, advanced trade, U.S. trade balance, retail inventories, postal inventories. We got Mester speaking with the Beige Book at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Thursday, big data dump on Thursday, so that's a target for you if you're a bear. Thursday, we got PCE, pending home sales, personal income, initial claim, jobless claims. And then Friday of next week, we've got ISM manufacturing. Auto sales and construction spending not as big, but the big one for Friday next week would be ISM manufacturing. So that's all I can see for next week. I'll usually give you like if this then that, or if that then this. And so on Sunday or Friday or whatever it was into Monday, expectations, that holds true right here too. So on this Webull chart right here. Right, on this Webull chart right here, it said this morning that you're a buyer here, right? So this is the hourly trigger. This is uptrend, right? So I'm bullish. We can trade this all we want, right? This is that next gamma node up here, right? We can trade this up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? But we need to get above. So this node here becomes this node right here. So if we can get up here, I get bullish again to this right here. Does that make sense? Now let's say today we broke down below this hourly trigger, right? Then the dip buy would be lower. Does that make sense? Or you're buying a dip right here with a stop underneath it, right? And if let's say you know there's always risk, right? So let's say you're buying this dip down here and it goes against you. Your stops are triggered. And then your dip buy is even lower, right? It's down here, right? So I guess the idea here is I can tell you, I guess what I can do is I can always tell you, hey, we're going to 460 by Friday, right? We're going to go to 460 by Friday. Now, if we start to sell, right? Let's say start breaking below the hourly trigger and we're not at Friday yet, you have to have a plan, right? And you know who does a really good job of this is Chris DeMarco does a good job of this, and Matt Ryan does a good job of this. And that is, I'm a momentum trader, but I'm also a price action trader. So, and regardless of what Gamma tells me, I really don't give a fuck. So, so think about it like, I would sell my own brother down the river if I could in the market. You have to have that. You have to have that same thesis. I'm going to say this to you guys. So you guys need to understand this, okay? Write this down if you're a young trader, okay? And this is going to be one of the tools. This is going to be one of the tools that will serve you better than most of them that are out there, okay? This is where Elliott Waiver is getting a lot of trouble for this. They get yelled at oftentimes because Elliott Waivers base a lot of what they do on rules, right? And then what happens is price doesn't go there, right? They go, it's invalidated. I have a price target of 460, right? Using Elliott Wave, we don't get there to 460. We just start. We're rolling heavy right now, rolling heavy and down, just like selling. And I'm an Elliott Waiver, and I give you 460. So I come back and I go, hey, Captain Jim, you suck. What do you mean invalidated, right? So you're not always getting the full story from some traders or from people that you're looking towards for guidance. So my point to you is this. If you are going to stay alive as a trader or an investor, you're going to stay alive as a trader and investor. I don't care if you use Elliott Wave. I don't care if you use Gamma. I don't care if you use VWAP. I don't care if you use RSI. I don't care if you're trading, you fucking name it. I don't care what you're trading. Whatever system you're using out there, my system, use my system. right? Whatever system that you're using out there, or the tools from systems that you're using out there, I want you to remember something very important. Okay. And it's going to take a lot of hammering over the head for you to learn this. You're going to lose a lot of money before you learn this tool for sure. No matter what thesis you have, no matter what tools you're using, no matter what they are, right? You have to be able to take the opposite side of your thesis with a drop of a hat. Wasn't there a movie like this, right? I think Heat, the movie Heat. What was his name? Robert De Niro was the bad guy, and he said, I'll leave in a drop of a hat, right? He said, I'll drop everything at the drop of a hat, and I'm gone. You need to have that mentality as an investor and trader. And it's a big tool for you to have. So let's say you make a plan. Number one, you know that there's always risk. Number two, that plan is just a plan. It can go to shit at any time. It can go where you want it to go. Hey, look, it went from 450.50 all the way up to 460.50. That guy's a fucking genius, right? Let's say it goes against. Let's say we start selling. You have to be able to shift your thesis to price action. So I want you to remember that. If price action tells you, especially if you don't know other systems of trading, if you don't know everything about Elliott Wave or don't know anything about Gamma or whatever the fuck it is you're doing, you don't understand the mechanics, all that stuff, for any reason, if price action goes against your thesis, have the ability to pivot and change your thesis. I used to talk about this more frequently than I do now, but I used to harp on this. Nobody fucking cares. Listen to me closely. Nobody fucking cares, right, about your fucking thesis but you. Okay? And you caring about your thesis is for you to make money. For you to make money. Don't ever forget that. Ever. So at the end of the day, right, when we're done trading, or at the end of the week, at the end of the month, the only thing that matters, right, is that you're getting paid. You are the only person paying your fucking bills. You're the only person taking out your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever it is. You're the only person that's responsible for your trading and is responsible for your own money. Don't ever blame anybody else, okay? Take personal responsibility for your trading. And I'm going to tell you why. You can get on FinTwit or Wall Street Bets or StockTwits or anywhere else out there, and you drink the Kool-Aid for bulls and bears, right? You drink that Kool-Aid, right? And you're stuck in a thesis, and you have to live and die by that sword for internet points, but not real money. Does that make sense? So you could be a perma bear or a perma bull on Twitter or Wall Street Bets or whatever. That's all fun and games. But the truth is, this is supply and demand. We're really in supply and demand. Where's the supply? Where's the demand? Where's the strong and weak supply and demand? Right? We go up and down. This market goes up and down. And as soon as it goes against you, you have to be able to shift. So let's say you're a perma bull and you're like, fucking Tesla's going to 5,000, right? And it's burning down to $100 fucking dollars. You need to be able to identify that that's going to $100 goddamn dollars. You will lose all your fucking money, I promise you. Now, you might have internet points. You might be on Twitter and be like, I'm the biggest Tesla fucking bull ever, right? On FinTwit. But that doesn't mean you're making fucking money. And that's what we're here to do, is make money. So you can be the Tesla bull all you want on FinTwit, but I want you to remember that after all that internet cred that you have means dog shit when it comes to having money in your fucking pocket in the bank to pay your bills. And that's why we're here, right? So if you're a new trader or you're a bull or a bear, you need to understand that that's more of a function of a heel in wrestling. It's fun to poke around with bulls and bears and all that kind of stuff. But in truth, you will learn over time that you're never going to be a bull or a bear. In reality, you just know where supply and demand is, and you trade that, or you step out of it. You can be a Tesla bull and decide not to go long, but you don't buy every fucking Tesla. Some people say that, like, I bought Tesla this and I buy it at the highs and the lows. I don't care. That fucking guy that's telling you that, he probably has been buying Tesla since it was $10. His trading plan, investing plan, is completely fucking different than yours. You understand my point? So you might look up to some Tesla bull on Twitter and be like, that guy says, that guy's, but he's got 1 million followers, and he tells me that he buys Tesla on highs, lows, doesn't care. It's going to $20,000. I'm a long-term investor. I'm going to fucking tell you it's not goddamn true. And his or her position is not yours. They've been buying since it was $10. You're someone trying to buy a Tesla at $1,000 fucking dollars. You understand what I'm saying? And they're probably selling fucking calls against you too, mind you. So you have like motivations of people that you're listening to on social media are different than yours. Their goals are different than yours. And your internet cred doesn't mean shit at the end of the day. So like you can suck each other off on the internet all we want, but the truth is, and a lot of you know this, I'm a permabull. I get done on a Friday and I look at my account and I go, fuck, it's at 0. Fuck, it's at 20,000. It was at 100 grand on Monday. It's now at 20 grand. Fuck, you know? And you have to live with that. You're the person that's at home beating yourself up with a hammer. You're the person that's not trading because you're pissed off at yourself or the losses that you've encountered or any of that stuff. So I want you to remember that, okay? So you must become a price action investor trader to survive. I don't care if you're a seller or a buyer, whatever you're better at, you need to be able to identify where supply and demand is, right? And know when to buy a dip and when to sell a rip, right? You must. You can hang on to that. I'm a perma bear and perma bull, but you have to understand that when it goes against you and your thesis, you rip that shit up and throw it away. Does that make sense? So let's say you're a perma bear on FinTwit, and let's say you're like crash, 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 crash. That's all you say all day long, right? I want you to know that that's great, but that's not how you make money, okay? And you need to be able to separate those two things. You have to be able to separate that bearishness or that bullishness and be able to trade price action. So like if you see this hourly trigger break and you start to see rejecting on it, and we're starting to head lower, you need to position yourself not to be buying dips there and start looking to sell that rip or sell that support that's going to break and wait for something lower. Does that make sense to you guys? Do you guys all understand that? Yeah, I haven't stressed that in a long time. I used to harp on it. I guess you care in your brain what FinTwit thinks about you, but you shouldn't. Don't give a fuck what FinTwit thinks of you. What you should be really caring about is you making money. And I'll tell you what, you make money, right? And that's really the game changer. You feel more confident. You feel good about yourself. You feel it's like it's every fucking
Fox
thing.
News here.
You can pick up any trading plan that you want. You can have any thesis that you want, right? You can be a perma bull or a perma bear on FinTwit, right? Or you just stop. If you can't separate the two, then just stop being a perma bull or a perma bear. Just stop it. Be a trader, be an investor. Be a seller, whatever you want to be, but don't be a bull or a bear if you can't separate the two. Okay? And the next thing is you're going to follow price action. Price action is going to be the truth of your thesis. So whenever you're entering a trade, right, this is where it all comes together. This is like the wrapping it up in a gift present for you. So you're no longer a bull or a bear. You're looking for supply and demand, right? You're keyed up on that, supply and demand, right? And you're a price action trader. So you make a plan when you're going in, when you guys are out there taking a short, taking a put spread, taking a fly, taking a condor, selling and buying, it doesn't matter. If you're taking long calls, right, on SPY, but we'll do long calls. If you're gonna do long calls on SPY, right, you must have a plan. When you're entering that trade in your brain, you need to have, this is my entry, this is my exit. This is how this works. This is how this doesn't work. I'm out. I'm flat. I'm good. I'm flat right now. You need to have a plan for if it goes against you. You should not be saying to yourself out there, well, I'm going to stay short because of my thesis, even though it's going against me. Okay? You exit your trade. You try to make up that trade that you're losing. If you've lost money in that trade, try to make that trade up somewhere else and then get back into that thesis, right? If your thesis is ripped up, you switch to the bear side. If the thesis goes bullish, you switch to that bull side. Makes sense? And if your plan is validated and it goes to where you want it to go, up or down, woohoo. But if it doesn't, have a plan to exit, to lick your wounds instead of just getting fucking annihilated. It's brutal when you're like, if your whole account is $10,000 and you fucking make a $10,000 bet and it starts to go against you, and you just like dig your heels in and say, I'm staying in this trade. I've done that. I've lost 6 figures doing that. I've lost 6 figures, and not in one day. These are like 2 week out, 1 month trades for 6 figures. When I was younger in my trading career, I would dig my heels in and say, fuck that, it's going to come back. Do you ever start telling yourself that? Like I was telling myself earlier, I bought some puts to offset that trade that was getting beat up on. You have to have a plan. You have to. How to offset theses that are wrong. So I try to do that for you guys in this show, which is give you guys where I expect it to go. If it starts to break below, to go look lower, stuff like that. So I guess that's my point there. This whole conversation goes back to what did Captain say? And I normally give you every idea, or this is what could happen. This is my expectation. If that thesis gets broken, this is your positioning to go lower. Is that you made it? You said it perfectly. Dean WS just said, I heard a similar saying. You can either be right or you can make money, and that is a great way to state that. You can be right or make money. I'm telling you what, dude, making money feels so much fucking better than any street cred that you can have on Twitter or anywhere else. Wall Street Bets, Stock Twits, fucking investing.com forums for futures at nighttime, the forums on Thinkorswim, forums on Tasty. Doesn't fucking matter. Wherever you call home. Discord. Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It matters that you can shift. You have to be able to shift when needed. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, who said that? Stretching Walls just said investing, trading is the worst place to seek validation. Abso-fucking-lutely. And you know what the worst part of that is? There are pariahs out there. I don't do this. I can prove it to you. I can tell you right now I don't do this. I don't sell you guys shit. I don't monetize shit. I don't do the clickbait shit. Sometimes I do as a joke. Matter of fact, short seller ST and I used to make fun of this shit. Like, if you do doom and gloom, you get 100,000 followers. Easy. I get 100,000 followers if I did doom and gloom posts every day on FinTwit. I'd have 100,000 followers. I know I would. But I don't partake in that shit. And there are sub-sellers out there that do this. There are people that will entertain your emotions to get to your purse strings. And I think that shit's gross. I shouldn't say it. I can understand some people not having a problem with it. I have a fucking problem with it. But needless to say, that internet cred shit, dude, take that shit and just rip it up. You don't owe people shit on social media. When you're losing money, do those people come pay your bills for you? Let me ask you that. When that guy that's out there telling you we're going to have a 1987 crash and he's selling a sub to you, do you think that guy cares if we crash or not? Fuck no. You think that guy closes his shit as we go up? Fuck yes. Just trade what you're trading and put the blinders on. We're bullish right now, so we are. Until we break through that fucking hourly trigger, we're bullish. We're buying dips in the hourly trigger. So your stance here should be bullish unless we break through. So, and if we do break through and start selling, let's say we start selling Friday or some nonsense like that, you can just cut that bot call side of that trade. Now, another thesis here would be you diamond hand that fucker right until 3:59 p.m. on Friday, because if we do trade sideways, they could sneak it up into Friday. Now, let me take a quick peek here. Hold on. Let me look at the calls on Friday. Hold on. Yeah, you ready for this? This is fucking a prime trade, dude. There's 196,000 456s for Fridays out there right now. So there's a high probability we're going to trade above that 456 into the bell on Friday. I got to post that on Twitter too. Every day that you're alive is a good day in my book, you know? So try to live that over this weekend if you can. I will attempt to stream on Friday with a traveling setup during market hours. Now, this weekend, if there's any major news, I will post it on @CaptainsAlpha, okay? If there's anything like we need to know or anything scary over the weekend, anything huge. If I can't stream on Friday where I'm at, I will still be live on Twitter. So if, let's say on Friday I can't stream, I will be like actively giving exact like buy sell signals on Twitter on Friday. So, but I think I'll be able to stream on Friday, so I don't think it'll be an issue. What else I have to say to you guys? And I'll be here on Monday as well, so there'll be no like breakup of like Cap disappears for a week, something like that, or I missed a flight or something like that. I will be back on Monday. Well, I guess I could get fucked if there's weather, but I'm saying that right now. But and I will stream on Friday as well. Thanks, Big Balls. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, don't forget to follow at Trade the Trigger. That's coming online as well. So that's coming online. It's online right now, but it's gonna get really serious soon. What else do I got for you guys? Yeah, celebrate Festivus, man, for the rest of us. The one thing I want to say to you though is I saw a lot of negativity on Reddit this week, and I was like, I'm an old man. I got to tell you something, okay? This is the same thing. This is the same thing with like bitching, right? About like, I can't afford a house, and I'm like, you got to go somewhere that you can find an affordable house. You might not be able to live in Beverly Hills, right? The warning that I gave once to, oftentimes you hear old men will bitch and be like, put down the avocado toast, stop ordering Starbucks, and you'll be able to afford a house, right? That's really not the way to do things, right? An old person should be telling you how to get a house, right? Like, not just pull up your fucking bootstraps, right? So I think that's really derogatory and negative. And what can happen is you can spend your best years whining and bitching and not doing something about it, right? That's actually viable. And the same thing goes for these holidays, is my point. So if you're young and you're like edgelord and you're like, fuck this holiday and fuck that, I gotta say to you, that shit eats you up on the inside. You don't have to celebrate Thanksgiving, but take the time to be introspective. Take the time to enrich yourself. You're being given the time right now to re-energize yourself, re-energize your batteries. Don't squander that shit. Take care of yourself these next few days, 4 or 5 days. Recharge your batteries. Don't squander that part of life. Enjoy your life. I want you to know that. Deep down, I really, truly need to tell you guys out there, enjoy life. Please. You only get one fucking life. Even if you're an angry person, just blow that shit off, man. Don't get wrapped up. There's intents behind forces out there that, like, Reddit wants you to be angry. Twitter wants you to be angry. The actual companies, they want you to be angry. They get engagement from you. Don't get into that shit. Your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your friends that might want to engage you and try to get you angry over this weekend, don't do it, dude. I'm telling you, you want to look back on your life, right? And be like, I had a fucking awesome Thanksgiving, or I had an awesome gratitude weekend, or I had an awesome Festivus. You know what I mean? You got to have that in life. It makes life so much better. You don't want to die young. You want to die old and happy as you can be. So please do your best to take care, self-care over this weekend. If you, especially on a tough go of it, self-care. If you self-care, right? This is the truth. If you take care of yourself, right, and you make sure that you're happy, you can then take care of other people. You can then take care of yourself. There's so much positive by being by taking care of yourself. Okay, you can't take care of other people if you don't take care of yourself. People don't want to be around you if you don't take care of yourself. So please take this time, take care of yourself this weekend, please. Jared King Rumbald, take it easy. Max Headroom, man, love that name. Okay, so I'll see you guys on Friday. 9:30 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. I'll see you then. Be square, baby. Happy Thanksgiving.